Okay, Mishnah of the day, Perek Chet Mishnah Bet. Haomer le'avdo. If a person tells his servant, a Jewish servant, go and take care of Korban Pesach for me. Tzeh u'shchot alai et Pesach. Go, do the shechita, and then, offer you bring the parts that are supposed to be offered on the Mizbech, and bring back home the actual animal. Okay, so we said that Korban Pesach can be from sheep or a lamb, sheep or a goat, right? A lamb is a baby sheep and a kid is a baby goat. So from either a goat or a sheep, less than 1 year old. So now he tells his Eved, go out and please do the shechita. Says the Mishnah, shachat gedi yochal, shachat tale yochal. If he goes and he doesn't give a command as to a sheep or a goat, whatever the Eved chooses a sheep, that's what it is. Chooses a goat, that's what it is. Even if the master in general likes goat, but he chose a sheep, or the other way around, that's the Korban Pesach. Okay. But let's say the servant does a shechita to both. They tell him in the shuk, you could get either lamb or, he's like, you know what, let me take both. So he does a shechita for both. Now, Korban Pesach, you have to be on the one that you choose as Korban Pesach. But now he does a shechita to both a goat and a sheep. So says the Mishnah, Yochal min harishon. The first one is the Korban Pesach. The first one is the shechita to. But the Gemara says that this Mishnah, this point on the Mishnah is actually talking about a king. Meaning, if a king sends his Eved, and the Eved does shechita to both the goat and the sheep, the first one, that's the Korban Pesach. Why a king? And what about regular people? Because the Gemara says that a king, he has so many delicacies. So for him, he's already so full of delicacies, it doesn't matter for him really if it's a goat or a sheep. So therefore, I sent my servant to go get me Korban Pesach. The first one he did, that's for the Korban Pesach. I'm so finished. I've tasted all the delicacies. I don't care anymore the difference between a goat and a thing. So the first one. But a regular person, they're not the king. Now it's a Korban Pesach. They would really like to choose which one it is. So if the Eved did a shechita to both, with the intention that I guess maybe both, we'll just do both. But there wasn't one specified for the Korban Pesach, and the owners would really like to choose one or the other. Here there's a concept of berera, and there's of choosing, we'll explain in a moment, but en brera, there's no choosing when it comes to laws from the Torah, which gets into a separate discussion as to why, but the choosing means as follows. So let's say he comes now with the two animals. He said, Master, I just did both. So choose one. So if you choose one now, what are you saying? You're saying that they were basically done at the same time, with the same intention, like these are the Korban Pesach. If I choose one, what am I doing? I'm saying that retroactively, this is the one that I chose for Korban Pesach. But it wasn't like that, because it was at the same time that these were intended for Korban Pesach. And therefore, it doesn't work. And both of those don't work. Now, if he comes home to the master, and he already offered the innards and offered the parts supposed to go on the Mizbeach, so you can't eat from both of those Korban Pesachs, but they are patur from Pesach Sheni. They don't have to bring Pesach Sheni. The innards were already offered, and so they don't have a Korban Pesach to eat from. Maybe if there's time, they could get another one that they're actually, this is the one we're using, but they are patur from Pesach Sheni. Now, here's another case. Shachach ma'amar lo rabo. Let's say he goes to the shuk, the Eved. Again, he commands him, go get the Korban Pesach. And now he forgot. Did he tell me a sheep or a goat? So what do you do in this case? So says the Mishnah, Ketzad yaseh. Says the Mishnah, Yishchot taleh ugdi. Do a shechita to both. Veyomar, but say, Im gedi amar lo rabbi, gedi shelo v'taleh sheli. Im taleh amar li rabbi, taleh shelo ugdi sheli. He says like this: if the goat is what my master wanted from me, then the goat is going to be for the Korban Pesach, and the sheep is going to be for me. But if the sheep is the one that's for the Korban Pesach is going to be the sheep, and the goat is for me. Remember, Hashem discussed, he's an Eved. How could he own his own thing? So explanation number one is, let's say he's not a real Eved, contractual Eved. He's just a friend or whatever he sent to go do it for him. Or seconds, even if he's an Eved, we're talking about the case where the owner, where the guy at the shuk says, I'll give you one for free that will belong to you, and therefore it could belong to the Eved. So in that situation, it doesn't get into Brera, because it's not at the same time happening for both of these are Korban Pesach, but rather the condition is at the onset that it's only one of these. And therefore when he gets to the master chooses, no, I told you this one, or I told you this one. And now, last case is Shachach Rabo Ma'amarlo. Let's say the master forgot what he told him. Meaning the guy gets to the shuk, he's like, I forgot what my master told me. You know what? I'm going to do this condition. Buy the sheep, and if the sheep is the one, that's the one. If the goat is the one, that's the one. The other one's going to be for me. He gets home, he says, master, I did the condition. Either which is the one that you told me? You know what? I forgot which was the one I told you. That means that the master doesn't know which one he dedicated to. And he's supposed to dedicate to that animal, be it the sheep or the goat. And because he doesn't know, it's in a case of a safek. And if it's a case of a safek, then both of them are not good for the Korban Pesach. And the ruling would be, as the Mishna says, Shneim yitzu lebet asrefa, both go to be burned, because again the innards were already offered on the Mizbeach. Now these cannot be eaten because he didn't specify specifically one. Upturim lasot pesach sheni, but because the innards were burnt on the Mizbeach in a proper way, they don't have to do Pesach Sheni a month later. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen v'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben HaKasher ורצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפי חיבה להם תרומתו שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר